Movies you should watch. Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek Beyond is a 2016 film and the third of the rebooted Star Trek universe, following a revamped version of the original Star Trek crew from the 60s TV show. Directed by Justin Lin, known for his work on the Fast and Furious franchise, and written by Doug Jung and Simon Pegg, who plays the lead engineer Scotty in the film and is well known for his work with director Edgar Wright on comedies like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. Beyond is a sci-fi action-adventure film that tries its best to remain loyal to its roots in the original show, popularly referred to as TOS, or the original series, which was about at its core showing humanity at its height, where people of every color, gender, or sexuality could work together to accomplish great tasks, while also trying to be a summer blockbuster that delivers on fast-paced action. Star Trek Beyond is the third movie of the rebooted Star Trek films that features an alternate timeline from the originals, where most general things of the universe are the same, but this way they aren't beholden to the massive amounts of Star Trek lore. Meaning if someone points out that one thing doesn't particularly line up with the whole canon of Star Trek, the writers can just say it's an alternate universe and get them out of a nitpicky argument. That massive amount of lore can make the world feel lived in and huge, but it can also constrain a writer and restrict what you're able to do with the property. No sane writer wants to be constrained by all of that lore, so I think it was a good decision for them to move to an alternate timeline. Now I am gonna also have to ask you this question: how much do you know about Star Trek? Specifically, how much do you know about the 60s TV show? What I'm getting at here is there is a small barrier of entry to get into Star Trek Beyond. While I don't think you need to have in-depth knowledge to watch this film, you should at least watch Star Trek 2009, an enjoyable movie that will introduce you to the characters and set up all you need to know. Ignore Into Darkness though, there's nothing worth your time there. Yep, just gonna pretend this one doesn't exist. It's not good. It's pretty bad. So, getting back to Beyond, the writers Jung and Penn do an excellent job of getting to the heart of their characters. They understand their motivation, their dreams, and the responsibilities and expectations they have for themselves, and for those around them. There are the responsibilities of Captain James T. Kirk, played by Chris Pine, who is an excellent fit in his third go-around at the character. He doubts his passion and reasons for even joining Starfleet, and throughout the film, it's him trying to figure out what he wants to be. Generally, the plot for Beyond is fairly simple, as the crew of the USS Enterprise is out on another adventure, similar to one they might go on in the original series. They find a stranded alien woman and try to help her find her crew when they're ambushed by a fleet of tiny vehicles that swarm the Enterprise. This swarm then kidnaps or kills most of the crew and sends the ship crashing into a nearby planet. There, the remaining free crew members must work together to save the captured crew and defeat the mysterious aliens. This simple plot allows for a lot of time for interesting set pieces, character development, and plenty of playful dialogue between characters. Simon Pegg's writing has always had plenty of heart to it, and he is an expert in making scenes that are emotional and serious, as well as using humor to keep things from getting too dour. He helps to strike the perfect kind of blend you want to have in a movie like this. You want the stakes to feel like they're real and the characters to feel like they're actually going through stressful situations that are believable, but you also don't want to have everyone be dour and sad because so many people are dead and their ship is destroyed. The first two films of this new Star Trek series are directed by J.J. Abrams, who could not direct this one as he was working on Star Wars The Force Awakens. He really was a natural choice for that job, as the Star Trek films he directed play far more like Star Wars films, high on action, low on science, and time traveling to save the whales. So they brought in Justin Lin, and under his direction the action feels far more kinetic and exciting. Now, I haven't watched a single one of his Fast and Furious movies. I've never even seen a Fast and Furious movie, but I would guess this is where a lot of his talents lie, as Fast and the Furious is a franchise built on racing and action. The energy that he brings to these scenes, combined with Jung and Penn's writing, combine perfectly to make this the best of the new Star Trek films. It dials back on many of the main criticisms of the series, like how it took the original characters and rewrote them to be basically amping up each of their personalities. Like each character in the main cast had some part of them pushed up to match the legacy of the characters, even if those never matched what the characters actually were in the original show. Spock is a great example of this. There are rare moments in TOS where Spock would have to deal with the fact that he is half human and half Vulcan. Vulcans are creatures that lack all emotions. They suppress their emotion and they're purely logical beings. Where humans, of course, are very emotional. In the show, this may have happened once or twice. In the original movie, I think it happened once, but it was very infrequent and rare. In the films, this is basically Spock's entire character for the first two movies, going into rage fits a little too frequently. Beyond tries to fix all of this, and as a result, characters feel less like a factory remake of, hey, do you remember Captain Kirk? Or Tribbles? And more like making a reimagining of the character who has their own goals and problems that makes them distinct from their TOS counterparts. In Beyond, they don't feel like they're just amping up a character. It feels like they're their own person at this point. In rewatching Beyond a few times for this video, I really started to notice how the score is incredible, paying homage to motifs from the original TOS soundtrack, especially with the opposing aliens theme. Now for YouTube reasons, I won't play it here, but listen to the track Amok Time from TOS, and compare that to A Swarm Reception from Beyond, and you'll understand what I'm trying to get at here. It's great how they call back to those, and it's one of those things that I think is more eloquent about Star Trek Beyond in the way that it touches back on the original series. It doesn't do it through ham-fisted, cheesy ways like, hey, do you remember the Wrath of Khan? Do you remember Tribbles? This goes again to the problem of the nostalgia of the first two Star Trek movies, and I think a problem J.J. Abrams has in general with a lot of the movies he's done. There is a lot of callbacks, there is a lot of ham-fisted references that I don't personally enjoy, which again is what I really appreciate about Beyond, because making a reference in just the general feel of the motifs of a score is far more interesting and intricate than just saying, hey, do you remember Guy? We have Guy. Now, with visual effects, sometimes it can be easy to take them for granted, but Beyonds really are incredible, and for some of the set pieces, like the space colony of Yorktown, are really well designed with a lot of detail paid to the gravity, transportation, and docking bays. As well, the design of the alien fleet is a great idea, and this was taken from one of the lesser-known episodes, I think, of Star Trek Voyager. They took the idea in that episode and improved upon it to make it fit in this world. To compare it Beyond to other films, I would say it's very similar to sci-fi movies like Edge of Tomorrow, which features a lot of action alongside some well thought out but not overbearing sci-fi concepts. See, neither of these movies try to weigh you down with their concepts, but use them to create interesting scenarios and action sequences. You see, you think these are basic, but it can be difficult for some people. It's difficult. Looking at you, Jupiter Ascending. Another would be the more ridiculous sci-fi film Pacific Rim. Now, Pacific Rim does have one major weakness over Beyond, and that's that its characters are shallow and generally forgettable. Pacific Rim, I think, does do a good job of making the most of its concept and basic sci-fi ideas to make a ridiculous movie where at one point a giant robot fights a giant monster with a shipping boat. That's just fun. Again, this isn't a heady sci-fi film like Arrival or Ex Machina, though I do love both of those movies and sometime I might do an episode on each of them, but Beyond has witty dialogue, sharp, well-directed action, and moments of introspection and development within characters that was sorely needed, making it by far the best of the new Star Trek films. Now, before I end this, I would also like to mention how this film does honor two excellent actors, the first being Anton Yelchin. Yelchin played Chekhov in Beyond, and he passed away before the film's release in a tragic accident. He was a standout in previous Star Trek films, and he really shines in the elevated role he has in Beyond. And it's really a shame to see such a young life and a great promising career be cut short. The other, of course, is Leonard Nimoy, the beloved original actor for Spock who passed away in early 2015. He might be one of the most beloved actors to ever join Star Trek, and without everything Nimoy did, Star Trek would not be even close to what it is today. He also directed one of my personal favorite Star Trek films in Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, otherwise known as Star Trek IV: Star Trek Saves the Whales. Both of these actors did fantastic work, and may they both rest in peace. Now, with all that said and done, thank you very much for watching this video, and go see Star Trek Beyond because it is absolutely a movie you should watch.